Hi everyone, how are you? I hope that you all are doing fine and I hope that you're okay. Today our lesson will be dictionary skills. First you have to log in using the aplusstudent.com. You click on your name, move on to language at the grade 3. The lessons will be use guide words, use dictionary entry set 1, use dictionary entry set 2, and use dictionary definitions. Alright, so guide words appear on each page of a dictionary. So when you have a dictionary, you'd always have a guide word. Okay, so they tell you the first word and last word on the page. The other words on the page come between the guide words in alphabetical order. To put words in alphabetical order, put them in order by their first letters. If the first letters are the same, then you have to look at the second. So it goes by first letters. Then if they're same, you use the word second letters, and that's how you keep going. Okay? And if the second letters are the same, you look at the third letters and so on. All right? If the third are the same, you look at the fourth. And that's how you keep moving. Okay? So if one word is shorter and there are no more letters to compare, then the shorter word comes first in alphabetical order. For example, we have B, and then we have bed, and we have maybe Ben. Okay, so you can see that the BE is the shorter one, so it comes first before the other letters. So you have to make sure that you put this one first because it is the shortest. All right, so let's look at some examples. All right, so we have, would you find the word mantle on a dictionary page with the following guide word? So we have mantle, we have minutes, must. Okay, so can you find mantle in between minutes and must? So you cannot find mantle because mantle is MA and it is not between the guide words of minutes to must. It would not be found on that page. So these cannot be found in between this and this. Okay. All right. So would you find the word for on the dictionary page with the following guide words? So we have for, we have forgive, foster. So can you find for in between? So no, you cannot because forgive is FOR and foster is FOS. So it stops as FOS. And for is what? FOU. So you cannot find for in between forgive and foster. All right, so we have crumble. So can you find crumble in between crowned to crystal? So crumble, can we? Of course we can, because crumble is CR and crown is CRO and CRY. So U comes in between. All right, so yes, you can find crumble in between crowd and crystal. Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the test. So you can share your answers with me. All right. All right. So we have, which word would you find on a dictionary page with the following guide word? We have key and new. So which of these can you find in between? Hi, how are you? Our lesson today is dictionary skills. All right, so we have key and we have new. So which of these can we find? Of course, we cannot find kayak in between because it starts with KE, but we can find kindness from E up until N. So we can find kindness. Yes, kindness is correct. So we have chocolate. So can we find chocolates in between Carol or cocoon? So which of this is yes or no? Can we find chocolate in between this or not? So Carol is CHCA and then chocolate is CH and CO. So of course here we can find it because H comes in between A up until O. So yes, we can. Okay. So we have beaver, boy, and broken. Can we find beaver in between boy up until broken? Yes or no? So we have beaver, Beebobr. So we cannot find be in between O up until R. So E comes before O. So this is no. Okay. So we have the next one. So which word would you find on a dictionary page with the following guide word? We have babies and we have blaze. So which of these words can we find in between babies up until blaze? Which one? I said we are doing dictionary skills. That's our lesson today. Hi, how are you, David? I hope you're okay. So we have babies and blaze. So BA up until BL. So A up until L. We can find best in between babies and blaze, but we cannot find barcode because it's U. Okay. This lesson is guide words. Okay. And we're looking at guide words on a dictionary page. All right, so if you open the dictionary and you want to look for the word, you need guide words that can help you figure out the word. Okay, so we have kerosene and we have knives. So which of this word can we find in between kerosene and knives? Is it kitchen or kangaroo? All right, so look at this. We cannot find kangaroo in between kerosene and knives, right? Because kerosene is Ke and knife is KN. So from E, you have to check the second letter. So from the second letter up until the second letter in knives is E, then to N. All right. So KA now. A comes before E. So you cannot find A in between this. But you can find kitchen. Because for example, when you say the alphabet, right? You would have E. And then when you move on, you would get I later on. So kitchen. Okay, let's just write the alphabet and we can probably understand it better. All right, so this is our alphabet. Look at where we have A here, and then K kerosene is KE, right? So we have E, and then knife is KN. So up until N, you can see it. So from E to N, and which one can you find? Can you find kitchen or kangaroo? Now kangaroo is KA. Look at A. A is behind. All right, but if we look at kitchen, we can find the I here. So there's I in between E up until letter N. All right, so that's why our answer will be kitchen. Okay. All right, so we have, would you find the word leash on a dictionary page with the following guide word? We have what? Lunch and lonesome. So can we find leash in between this from LA to LO? Yes or no? So we cannot find leash. We have LA and we have LE, right? The first letters are the same, right? So we have LA, we have LO, and we have leash. Can we find leash in between? So this is E, this is A. By the time you say A, B, C, D, E, you can because A is the first, and then it's up until what? O, second. So you can find E in between A up until O. Alright, so that's what makes it ES. You can find leash in between large and lonesome. So scent, can we find scent in between seller up until certain? So look at this. Alright, so yes, right? Answer is yes. So we can find scent in between seller up until certain. Okay. So we have include innocent instead. Can we find include in between innocent and then instead? Yes or no? So option one, no. You have include here. So we have include and we have innocent, okay? And instead. Now, take a look at this. The first two letters are the same, IN, right? So since the first two letters are the same, we have to look at the third letters, okay? So we have C, N, S. So we have from N up until S here. So from here, N, and then we have S. You cannot find C from N up until S. It's not possible. Okay? So our answer is supposed to be no. Can you tell me on the chat if you have any questions before we move on to the next lesson? Do you have any question? And I can answer and make correction for you. Any question? Do you have any questions? I guess you guys have no question. So we'll go on with a dictionary entry. Now, dictionary entry gives you many kinds of information about a word. So it gives a lot of information. For example, we have check, check, and checks, right? Now, the first one, check, is an inspection. Okay, so the pilot conducted a safety check before takeoff. A bill at a restaurant is the second one, check. We finished our meal and then asked for the check. Now, the third one is a written order telling a bank to pay out money from a specific account. So, my grandparents sent me a check for my birthday. All right, so in general, the dictionary entry just gives you more information about different words or a certain word, okay? So you can see that some of the words could have the same pronunciation, but they all have different meaning, okay? So the entry word is the word you look up. Entry words are listed in alphabetical order. So it's the word that you search for. Now, the pronunciation tells you how the word should sound. The part of speech tells you whether the entry word is a verb, adjective, or some other part of speech. Now, the different forms of the entry words are listed so that you can see how to spell them. Most dictionary list the plural forms for noun entry words, comparative and superlative forms for adjective entry words, and the conjugation for verb entry words. A definition tells you what the entry word means. If an entry word has more than one meaning, then each meaning is numbered. And a sample sentence shows you how the word can be used in context. So you need to take notes of all this. Okay? Okay, so we will move on to the test. All right, so we have selected pronunciation in this dictionary entry. We have walk, walk, walking, and walked. So we have three explanation and definitions here. To do your job or something else that is important, Aaron works at the clinic. To function is your old computer still working, so function. Then wait on to try to improve. Coach Chang helped me work on my jump shirt. To be successful, did you plan work? Alright. So select the pronunciation in the dictionary entry. So which of these is the pronunciation of work here? Is it the first one or the second? We're talking about the pronunciation here, not work. We're talking about the pronunciation. If you're referring to the pronunciation, it will be the first one. Okay? So that's the pronunciation. So now, select the second definition in the dictionary entry. We have teen, Tina, and teeness. Not thick or wide, not heavy or fat, what you're running. So which one is the second definition in this meanings? Select the second definition to this dictionary entry. Not heavy or fat. If you look at the explanation, not heavy or fat was the second one. So that is what they're asking about. Okay? So you need to take note of this. So we have select the part of speech. Now from this one, you need to figure out the part of speech. So take notes. Okay? Part of speech. Now, which of this is the part of speech? Is it short or nouns? What is the part of speech here? Firing a gun or ball, a photograph, when someone throws or hits the ball to try to score points in a game. So, in a game, all right, part of speech. Is short a part of speech? Short is what? The word. And the part of speech will be what there? Short or now? Which is the part of speech? Take note of it. If you look at the sentence, you can see now, okay? So it's a noun. Look at it up above here. For example, with that one, we have this part here. You can see it. Yeah, so this is where we had the noun. For short, it was now written here. So that means now is the part of speech. Okay, so you have to look at it here. Okay, up above here. Now we have the pronunciation, we have definition, we have part of speech, we have pronunciation, and the rest of them. Now, this particular question is asking you for the pronunciation. Okay, so what's the pronunciation? Is it the first or the second? Sharp, which the pronunciation is usually written like this. Usually you have the pronunciation like this. It's in a sharp like this. So this one, so this is the pronunciation, this one over here. You can look at it and you can see that this is the pronunciation. So tell me on the chat, do you guys have a question? Now, I want you to ask a question. If you have any, tell me yes or no. Okay, so we have sharp. We're not done. I'm asking you to tell me if you have a question so that I can explain. So sharp is this one. And then we have used dictionary entry set 2. So we have the set 2, and it's basically like the same thing, but we have just one question here. So sharp there, the one that you wrote is the pronunciation. That's the pronunciation of sharp. So each of you, you would have to get your dictionaries and try to find these words. Okay? So you all have to find this word. Boy, excellent grades 3 insane country dictionary. Reason and manual. So you have to find these words, okay? So you can do that later on during the when we're done, just so that you can know how to, use the guide words to find it. So make sure you search this, okay? All right, so we'll move on to the last lesson, which is use dictionary definitions. Okay, so we have to use the definitions from the dictionary. Mm, Okay, so we have baseball games draw a lot of people to Yaddle Park. Now look at this definition of draw and tell me which is the most suitable definition for draw in this sentence. All right, so which is more suitable? Is it the first or second, providing protection or shelter, or to bring in or attract? Which of them? Okay, so we have what to attract. Okay, that's good. Okay, so Franklin practiced hitting the high notes on his flute. So, which of this definition is suited for the high? Having an elevated pitch or very tall? So, which of them is correct? So, having an elevated pitch. Okay, so we have airplanes, ships, and automobiles are widely used forms of transportation. So, which is the definition of form here? A type or safe? Which is the definition? A type. Okay, so we have a type. All right. Mr. White was clear, so I had no trouble understanding him. So, what's the meaning of clear here? Easy to understand or easy to chart? So, which of them? First or second? All right, so this is easy to understand. Okay, so before we finish, can you tell me, do you have a question? Now, ask all your questions so that I can explain to you. You can type in your question on the chat and then I will explain. Okay. All right, since you have no question, bye and see you guys next time.